Hello and welcome to my home. Today I'm going to talk to you about growing strawberries. These are bare rooted strawberries in containers. It's easy to do and I'll show you how. But before we go there, I want to let you know I have other types of videos on my channel. I have easy to prepare recipes, product reviews, meditation videos, and other videos on how to grow a variety of vegetables in containers. So let's get to talking about some strawberries. Now, the ones that I'm going to plant today are the ever sweet, ever bearing strawberry. And I just get these from the nursery. You can get these from any online nursery. They're going to ship it to your area at the appropriate time to plant, so you don't have to worry about all that. But one of the things you need to do is try to plant them as soon as you get them. If you can't, then place them in a very cold garage or in your refrigerator until you can get to them to keep them preserved. But these are dormant right now, and you want to keep them that way until it's time for you to plant them in your containers. First, you want to make sure that you pre-soak them because they come dormant, and this is how they come. It's in this type of medium. You gently want to break them out. These are basically just bare roots. See all these little lovely roots? So we're just going to lay those out, gently separate them. Some are going to be smaller than others. You get them in the pack from the local. I got these online, and they ship them to you according to your zone and the best time to plant. So they look dead, but they're not. They're dormant. Now some of them have decided to be early, and they're kind of sprouting a little bit, and that's okay too. So they sent me several of these. So, and they're rubber banded. Take the rubber band off, and you can get the idea. There's a whole bunch of them in here. So I got me a pan of water, and I'm going to just drop them in. Give you a better shot. There it is. Drop them in. You're going to let them soak about 20 minutes. They don't need to soak that long. Just enough to, you're going to wake them up basically, because they have been dormant. Pull them apart gently. All those nice roots. And if you don't have any green, that's okay. Like I said, these are dormant, and most of them more than likely are not going to have some, but I got these yesterday, so they've been sitting in my garage, which is kind of on the cool side, but it don't take them long to come to life. So I'm going to let those soak a little bit. Okay, it's almost been 20 minutes, but I want to talk a little bit about the different types of strawberry plants. There's basically three main categories. You have your everbearing, which is the type that I'm planting today, and they're going to give you 2 crops per year, one in the spring, summer, and one again in the fall. There's one called a June bearing, which is just like the name, it bears this fruit in a couple of weeks during June all at once. And then there's the day neutral, which kind of produces varies throughout the season. So those are your 3 main categories, and then within those 3 categories you'll have different varieties to select from. One thing about the ever-bearing variety is that the fruits will tend to be smaller, but that's okay for me. I think that'll be fine. The flavors are going to be nice and intense and sweet, as it is for most of the varieties found in the everbearing. So now we get to go ahead and I'll show you what to do to plant. You're going to need a pot. Now the containers or the pots are not necessarily deep. You can get away with one that's 8 or 10 inches in depth. What is most important is they have a wide enough mouth so that these strawberries can spread out and produce this fruit. And it's going to have some runners. Because we're doing containers, the runners will be running, off the sides of the container, which is fine. There's no problem with that. And it's going to make some beautiful flowers before it makes this beautiful fruit. And so it's like a double whammy. So I really like strawberries. So let me go ahead and show you. Oh, one other thing. Strawberries need at least 6 hours, preferably 10 hours of sunlight to do the best at producing strawberries. So keep that in mind. You're going to use potting mix, and you're going to amend your soil with some all-purpose fertilizer, but for this application I decided to go with a fertilizer that is for strawberries, and I'm going to try that one this time, see how that works. And then throughout the season you're going to use a water-soluble fertilizer about every 3 to 4 weeks. So this all-purpose fertilizer I'm going to use is a granular form of fertilizer. This container that I'm using is about 15 inches wide at the top and about 10 inches deep. And your strawberries don't have necessarily very deep roots. You could even get away with a pot that's only 8 inches deep. You just need a wide enough surface for them to spread out. I think for this size pot, I'm only going to put in 2. But before I do that, I want to mix in some of my strawberry food mix. Now this is a Gurney brand. I'm not affiliated with them, but it says it's for strawberries. And interesting enough, when I look at the ingredients are fairly similar to the all-purpose fertilizer that I use. So I'm not sure what the significance is in the strawberry fertilizer, but I'm willing to give it a try. And I'm going to just mix it in. Just got a handful and mix it in. Because this potting mix that I have does have some fertilizer in there, so I don't feel the need to put a whole lot. But I just want to get some of that strawberry fertilizer in there since it's supposed to be anyway really good. And we're going to find out how good it is when it grows this season. So just kind of mix it in there. And now I'm going to make some holes. Let's see here. Make one. And the roots have to spread out, so I'm going to put them out. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can make a mound in the middle and spread the roots over the mound. Or you can just splay them out into the hole. I think I'm going to do both methods. I'm going to see that. And then the thing about the crown. Now you need to follow the directions for your particular plant. They always send instructions. Some would tell you to plant just at where the roots meet the crown. This is the crown. This long thing is the crown. Here's the root. And some would tell you to bury the crown just a little bit below the soil. Mine say to bury the crown a little bit below the soil. So that's what I'm going to do. And kind of spread the roots out a little bit, because you don't want them all laying together, all clumped up. So I'm going to push the soil around it, see where that crown is. And it's important to get the crown right, because you don't want the crown to rot, nor do you want any of the root system to dry out. So this is one that I'm going to put over the mound. I made a little mound in this hole. See if you can see that. I'm going to bring you in a little closer. Sorry for that movement there. Okay, so I got a little mound. I just crunched up some dirt together. And I'm just going to spread the roots over the mound. And push the soil in. Get the roots down in there. I know my table is kind of rocking and rolling, a little bit rickety. And I'm going to take the rest of this soil out and put it in another pot. Pat it in. Now, this soil is pretty wet, but I'm going to give them a good drink of water even though I did soak them, because I want them to really have that moisture, and that moisture will help them take up those nutrients. So keep them well watered. I'm going to put this out in the yard and finish planting the rest of mine, but it's super simple. It's that easy. If you like that video, hit the thumbs up like button and consider subscribing to my channel and hit the notification bell so you know when I've uploaded a new video. That's it for now. Bye bye.